I put the SCP Foundation in the Hunger Games. Anyways, hey guys, Day 17 plays here. I put the SCP Foundation in the Hunger Games like the title says. Anyways, I just thought it would be cool and funny. However, I used up almost all the SCP Foundation gods, so there's not really enough room for other SCP gods. I mean, there's not enough SCP gods to go around, is what I'm trying to say. Man, I shouldn't have used them all. Anyways, let's introduce the tributes. In District 1, we have SCP-3812 and SCP-7709. In District 2, we have SCP-017 and SCP-2521. In District 3, we have He Who Made Light and He Who Made Dark. In District 4, we have SCP-682 and SCP-001. In District 5, we have the Brothers Death and Scarlet King. In District 6, we have Meghane and Yaldabaoth. If the comments are available, tell me if I mispronounce those names. In District 7, there's Klipoth and Sephiros. In District 8, we have SCP-701 and SCP-000. In District 9, we have SCP-999 and SCP-131. In District 10, we have SCP-457 and SCP-173. In District 11, we have SCP-469 and St. Alagata. In District 12, we have SCP-087-B and SCP-3199. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Yaldabaoth runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-3199, SCP-2521, Sephiros, and St. Alagata share everything they gathered before running. I don't really know what SCP-3199 has to share. Maybe his eggs. Meghane, SCP-999, He Who Made Light, and SCP-701 share everything they gathered before running. The Brothers Death runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-469 runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-457 rips a mace out of SCP-173's hands. Well, I'm not so sure SCP-173 can hold stuff. Well, he can break people's necks, though. SCP-001 runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-682 gathers as much food as he can. Scarlet King grabs a jar of fishing bait while Klipoth gets fishing gear. This is actually kind of related. Scarlet King and Klipoth kind of look similar to each other, so this might be canon to the SCP Foundation cosmology. I don't think it's canon, but they sure do look related, though. SCP-087-B runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-131 rips a mace out of SCP-000's hands. He Who Made Dark runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-7709 runs away from the cornucopia. SCP-3812 grabs a jar of fishing bait while SCP-017 gets fishing gear. Day 1. SCP-999 receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. SCP-3812, SCP-457, SCP-001, SCP-087-B, and Meghane hunt for other tributes. SCP-173 discovers a river. Sephiros camouflages himself in the bushes. Oh, I made Sephiros female. SCP-469 questions his sanity. Also male as well, but is made female accidentally in the game. SCP-131 picks flowers. SCP-3199 receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. SCP-682 questions his sanity. SCP-7709 diverts SCP-017's attention and runs away. SCP-000 searches for a water source. The brother's death chases He Who Made Dark. Scarlet King makes a slingshot. Clipoth explores the arena. Yaldabaoth tends to St. Alagata's wounds. He Who Made Light goes hunting. SCP-2521 travels to higher ground. SCP-701 collects fruit from a tree. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance. District. I don't really know who District is. I think this is just an error in the Brand Steel Hunger Games. Everyone's still alive. I think that means no cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Proceed. SCP-7709 climbs a tree to rest. SCP-001 sees a fire but stays hidden. SCP-3812 and the Brothers' Death huddle for warmth. SCP-3199 loses sight of where he is. Also made female accidentally. If you're wondering why this happened, I forgot to switch the genders. Clipoth attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. SCP-2521 is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. He Who Made Light tries to sing himself to sleep. St. Alagata sets an explosive off, killing Sephiroth, SCP-999, and SCP-017. No, not SCP-999. He was one of my favorite tributes here. And is it even accurate? I think St. Alagata is weaker than Sephiroth. SCP-131, 000, 469, and Yaldabaoth tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. At least SCP-131 is not dead. He Who Made Dark cries himself to sleep. Also made female, Scarlet King lets SCP-701 into his shelter. SCP-173 cries himself to sleep. SCP-087-B and Mechane sleep in shifts. SCP-457 receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. SCP-682 loses sight of where he is. SCP-000 makes a slingshot. SCP-457 tends to SCP-087-B's wounds. Scarlet King makes a slingshot. Mechane practices his archery. SCP-173 attacks SCP-682, but he manages to escape. Well, SCP-682 is stronger than 173, so he could just kill him. SCP-131 attacks SCP-3199, but he manages to escape. I don't really know what gender SCP-3199 is. But at least I hope SCP-131 did some damage. SCP-701 defeats the Brothers' Death in a fight but spares his life. Why did he spare his life? It would be pretty cool if he was defeated. St. Alagata thinks about home. Well, dead defeated. SCP-3812 Fitches. He Who Made Dark begs for Yaldabaoth to kill him. He refuses, keeping He Who Made Dark alive. SCP-2521 receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. He Who Made Light explores the arena. Clipoth, SCP-7709, SCP-469, and SCP-001 hunt for other tributes. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Sephiroth, SCP-999, and SCP-017. For some reason, St. Alagata is the strongest. Well, not the strongest, but he has 3 kills. Though. And it seems that no one else has any kills except for St. Alagata. He Who Made Dark and Yaldabaoth huddle for warmth. SCP-682 attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. He Who Made Light and SCP-3199 talk about the tribute still alive. SCP-3812 receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. McCain receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. SCP-087-B attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. SCP-131 is awoken by nightmares. SCP-469, Scarlet King and SCP-2521 discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. The brother's death looks at the night sky. SCP-7709 dies from thirst. What? He's a god. How can a god die from thirst? SCP-000 quietly hums. SCP-457 and St. Alagata huddle for warmth. SCP-173 convinces SCP-001 to snuggle with him. SCP-701 begs for Klippo to kill him. He refuses, keeping SCP-701 alive. SCP-2521, St. Alagata, SCP-682, and SCP-3812 raid the Brothers' Death's camp while he is hunting. Why is everyone attacking the Brothers' Death? Scarlet King runs away from SCP-469. That's just goofy. He's just humiliating. The Scarlet King is just humiliating himself at this point. Running away from this winged whatever it is. By the way, I know what it is. I just call it that because it's funny. Yaldabaoth discovers a river. SCP-000 tries to sleep through the entire day. He Who Made Light, Klippo, SCP-3199, SCP-001, and SCP-131 hunt for other tributes. SCP-701 defeats SCP-173 in a fight but spares his life. SCP-087-B receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. McCain attacks SCP-457 but he manages to escape. He Who Made Dark practices his archery. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance. SCP-7709. Let's see everyone's status. Most of the people are alive. And still only St. Alagata has kills. SCP-087-B questions his sanity. He Who Made Light looks at the night sky. McCain and Yaldabaoth track down and kill SCP-3199. Well, at least they're teaming up together. The last time I test simulated this Hunger Games, McCain killed Yaldabaoth. SCP-3812 and SCP-000 tell stories about themselves to each other. SCP-682 attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. SCP-701 tries to treat its infection. SCP-457 and the Brothers' Death fight Klippo and SCP-2521. SCP-457 and the Brothers' Death survive. No, not Klippo! He was one of my favorite characters. Even though he might be evil, he's still a good character. SCP-131 receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. SCP-469 begs for He Who Made Dark to kill him. He refuses, keeping SCP-469 alive. Scarlet King is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. St. Alagata receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Well, he might need water. Well, maybe not. He's a mummy, for corn's sake. SCP-173 attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. SCP-001 receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. SCP-087-B hunts for other tributes. I wonder how he does it. I think he does it with that creepy red-tinted jump scare thing which makes people's head explode. Pretty much like Siren Head, but without any loud noise. SCP-001 and SCP-000 split up to search for resources. He who made light tries to sleep through the entire day. The brothers' death overhears Yaldabaoth and SCP-131 talking in the distance. SCP-682 discovers a river. SCP-457 stalks Scarlet King. Mechane receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. SCP-173 runs away from St. Alagata. He who made dark pushes SCP-701 off a cliff during a knife fight. Whoa. He who made dark is going on a rampage. Well, actually, St. Alagata's on a rampage. SCP-3812 searches for a water source. SCP-469 receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. SCP-3199, Clipoth, SCP-2521, and SCP-701. SCP-457 has 2 kills. He who made dark has 1 kill. The brother's death has 2 kills. Both Mechane and Yaldabaoth have 1 kill. However, St. Alagata still has his honor of the most kills. The brothers' death, SCP-3812 and SCP-131 cheerfully sing songs together. Mechane goes to sleep. SCP-173, SCP-469, St. Alagata, He Who Made Light, and He Who Made Dark track down and kill SCP-001. SCP-457 tends to Yaldabaoth's wounds. SCP-000 defeats SCP-682 in a fight, but spares his life. Scarlet King receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. SCP-087-B dies of dysentery. SCP-682 explores the arena. SCP-000 steals from Mechane while he isn't looking. He Who Made Light receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Yaldabaoth chases He Who Made Dark. SCP-131 receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. SCP-457 hunts for other tributes. SCP-173 sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. SCP-3812 shoots an arrow at St. Alagata but misses and kills SCP-469 instead. The brother's death accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Scarlet King searches for a water source. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. SCP-001, SCP-087-B, SCP-469, and the brother's death. Most people are still alive. Most tributes are still alive. And for some reason, St. Alagata has 4 kills. Anyway, St. Alagata has 4 kills now. SCP-682 pushes He Who Made Light off a cliff during a knife fight. SCP-000 fends Scarlet King, Mechane, and SCP-457 away from his fire. SCP-3812 and He Who Made Dark sleep in shifts. Yaldabaoth loses sight of where he is. SCP-131 cries himself to sleep. I don't know what gender they are. St. Alagata tends to his wounds. SCP-173 passes out from exhaustion. Scarlet King sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. SCP-457 defeats SCP-173 in a fight but spares his life. SCP-682 practices his archery. SCP-3812 explores the arena. He Who Made Dark searches for a water source. Mechane dies trying to escape the arena. Not Mechane, no! Yaldabaoth defeats St. Alagata in the fight but spares his life. SCP-000 travels to higher ground. SCP-131 receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Scarlet King drowns St. Alagata, who he thought was a shark trying to eat him. Wait, this is an arena event. The remaining tributes begin to hallucinate. Scarlet King drowned Saint Alligator, who he thought was a shark trying to eat him. SCP-457 survives. SCP-173 hugs a tracker jacker nest, believing it to be a pillow. SCP-682 hugs the tracker jacker nest. What? SCP-131 eats a scorpion, thinking it's a delicate dessert. No, not SCP-131. 3812 survives. Yaldabaoth mistakes he who made dark for a bear and kills him. SCP-000 hugs a tracker jacker nest. 8 cannon shots. He who made light, Mechane, Saint Alligator, SCP-173, SCP-682, SCP-131, He who made dark, and SCP-000. SCP-3812 and Scarlet King run into each other and decide to truce for the night. SCP-457 climbs a tree to rest. Yaldabaoth receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Yaldabaoth decides not to go to the feast. Scarlet King sobs while gripping a photo of his friends and family. If the Scarlet King even has friends and family, since he's evil. SCP-3812 decides not to go to the feast. 457 decides not to go to the feast. SCP-3812, SCP-457, Scarlet King and Yaldabaoth hunt for other tributes. No cannon shots can be heard in the distance. The only tributes that are alive are 457, Yaldabaoth, Scarlet King, and 3812. They don't have any other tributes to kill. Yaldabaoth and SCP-3812 talk about the tributes still alive. Scarlet King starts a fire. SCP-457 is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warning. He's made of fire. He can just use himself. And I think this is the origin of 457. Scarlet King searches for a water source. SCP-3812 tends to SCP-457's wounds. Yaldabaoth discovers a river. When is anyone gonna die? When is anyone gonna die? No cannon shots. Scarlet King, SCP-457 and SCP-3812 get into a fight. SCP-457 triumphantly kills them both. Yaldabaoth attempts to climb a tree but falls to his death. The winner is SCP-457 from District 10. We already know the places and all that. Anyways, the winner is SCP-457. I was not expecting that. Anyways, sorry if there was any error in the video, so bye.